If you're old enough to remember when phones had cords and the only thing that went viral was a cold, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Big 6-0 with Kaylee Harris and Guy Rawlison. Because who better to discuss life's second act than two people who still think mature is a type of cheese?
Well, hello again, and welcome to the Big 6-0, the podcast that proves age is just a number, but preferably a little bit lower on the blood pressure scale. I'm Guy Rawlison, and once again, we're coming from our shiny new recording studios with a bit of a pop culture sort of vibe. And the lady who tried to swipe left on the microphone when it comes to the tech is the always wonderful Kaylee Harris. How are you?
We've got to do we're going to do a podcast on tech. Don't snicker at me. Don't laugh at how bad I am at technology because, well, I am. But we're going to make a whole podcast of that down the track about tech stuff that we just don't understand.
Yeah, look, I'm still that guy. If you hop into like a European car, the blinkers are on the opposite side,
and you put the wiper on every time
and you put the wiper on.
Oh, it's so annoying.
There's so many questions that need to be addressed about the differences, which is what we're talking about today. You know, it's pretty much I always wanted to know.
Yeah, stuff you always wanted to know. That's what today's episode is about.
That's it. I always wanted to know. Remember the song MacArthur Park?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Donna Summer did
Left
it.
his cake out in the rain or something.
What was with that?
I know. I think there must have been drugs going on or something there with you left your cake out in the rain. But as a radio announcer, I can remember that was really good if you needed to go out to the toilet and do number twos because the song went for 17 minutes. So you had plenty of time. You just put MacArthur Park on and then you'd be gone for ages.
Any wonder
have a cigarette outside.
Any wonder the cake went off. Gosh, but there are so many things that I don't have the answers to. You probably don't have the answers to.
No.
But I always wondered, like, yeah, the blinkers up and down on European cars, and so you hop into a rental car, or if you get a European for the first, you're turning left, and the wipers come on, and then you suddenly, where am I? Why is that? Why isn't there a universal?
Because everything is on the other side of the car, obviously. So it makes sense that your indicators and your wipers are on the opposite side to where they are here. But why do we even drive on? Why doesn't the whole world drive on the same side of the road?
I know. Has it got something to do with swords and horses and back in the day, or because the water goes down the sink the opposite way?
I was going to say that. The water goes down the toilet in the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere. Is it a southern hemisphere thing? What side of the road do they drive on in South America and South Africa and stuff? Are they on our side?
I think they drive on whatever side of the road they want in South America
sometimes. Yes, I think so too.
Although sometimes that happens here as well. But yeah, I don't know the answer.
We just followed the British, I suppose.
Yeah, well,
is there a right and a wrong? Are we wrong? And the Americans have got it right.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big question.
Ask
Everyone's
Trump.
looked at
I
the
know
moment.
what he'd say.
Yeah, well, I mean, just put a tariff on it. Am I getting too political now?
Yeah.
Perhaps a little. But I've got no answer. I don't know why we drive on the left, why we don't drive on the right. Indicators, you buy a European car here, the indicator is still on one side of the car, but it's the opposite. I don't know. It's one of those multitude of questions.
Yep.
It's like that sensation, and I get it. Maybe I'm a little bit weird. You go to a shopping centre and you know the travelator, not the escalator, but the travelator. Yeah.
Yep.
Even when that has stopped, if it's broken, some kids press the button and the travelator stops.
Yeah.
When you walk on that, do you get that sensation of, I just need to walk a whole lot quicker because
because it's not working? And
like you step on it and you expect it to be rolling and you walk on it and you think,
and your brain's going, I should be going faster.
Yeah.
But I'm not, so I'll just walk faster.
It's not me, is it?
No, it's not you. I've got one. Why is it? Why do when you go to cross the road and you get to the traffic lights to the walk thing and there's the big silver button that you push to make the lights to indicate to go across the road. Why is it that only works when you belt the crap out of it?
Because there's a little man in there, you hit him on the head.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's what, when we were kids.
It won't work if you just go once and push it once. You've got to bang the crap out of it.
We got told there was a little man in there and you need to knock him on the head.
Yep.
Couldn't tell that to kids
Numerous
today.
times.
Yeah, and just remind him that you're waiting at the lights,
right,
and that's what happens. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And while we're on that, The shortest time in the world, I always want to know this. Why is this? Why is the shortest time in the world the time between when the light goes green and the guy behind you beeps?
Good question.
yeah.
Good question. I've got no answer.
Yeah, part of that.
But we've got no answers for any of these.
No.
It's like, why do we hiccup? I'm sure there's a scientific. You probably know that.
No, I don't. Why do we hiccup? And it seems to be, I don't know about you, but related to if I'm really hungry and I eat bread, without fail, I'll start hiccuping.
I heard of something about like air coming into your esophagus or something
Yeah.
like that. But it doesn't seem to have a lot of rhyme or reason, does it? I don't know.
No. And what's its purpose?
And what was the whole idea of you either hold your breath or you drink water backwards
Yeah.
out of a cup?
I've actually found that works. Drinking water backwards actually works for me with hiccups, but I don't know why it works. I just don't know the purpose of them. Why? I mean, burps, I understand because you're expelling air, but, like farts, I understand. Same thing. But what's the point of a hiccup? What's it meant to be doing?
I don't know. Is it evolutionary thing that's supposed to be a warning to other animals or something?
Maybe, or,
I don't know.
attracting a partner. Because nothing says I love you like,
or a fart, really.
oh God, that's right.
Nothing really says something. Maybe it does. But drinking out of water, I used to think that maybe it was because you were concentrating so much on drinking water out of a glass backwards that you were slowing down your breathing, so that stopped the hiccups.
Yeah,
or
well, that
something.
makes sense. See?
Yeah, no scientific basis to that, though.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, but I know we're doing a podcast, but how many people do you know that say, "Oh, I really don't like the sound of my voice," because your voice sounds different to people than it sounds to you?
Yeah.
Is there a part of your brain that says,
Because you're hearing it inside your ears, inside your head, as well as what's coming out your mouth.
yeah.
No, you're right. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice.
It's like no one likes their own photograph. Oh, no, I don't like a photograph of myself.
Yeah.
Slightly different, but I've always wondered because you think, oh, I don't have a voice for this or whatever. But everyone else says, no, you sound fantastic.
I've got one.
Yep.
Does anyone actually like going to the dentist? Because all you ever hear is, I hate going to the dentist. I hate going to funerals. Does anyone actually like those things? I mean, I guess you get used to it, I suppose, but I mean, the dentist is a nice guy in most cases or girl.
Yeah, I'm sure the dentist likes going there. He's
Yes.
I've got another Audi.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, look, I understand.
Yeah.
There's things where there's a little bit of trauma involved, but no one likes going.
Well, both. You could put, the dentist and funerals in the same trauma basket.
Do dentists like going to the dentist?
That's right.
I mean,
Do dentists like going to funerals? Do funeral directors like going to the dentist? We really haven't thought this one through, have we?
I really need to be somewhere else today. I really do. I've got one for you that anyone that's an animal lover or an owner of a hound, why dogs actually spin around in a circle umpteen times before they decide to lay down and say, right,
Well, it's funny you should say that because it's not unique to dogs. A lot of animals, four-legged animals, will do that. And I'm thinking I've got some history with horses, and horses will do the same thing. Before they sit down, they will go around in circles. And I wonder whether it's to do with, flattening the ground to make it more comfortable for them or stomping out, any bugs that might be there just so they don't get bitten when they go down. I don't know.
Horses do that?
Yeah, horses do it. Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I've ever seen a horse
cats
do that.
do it. Yeah, they'll turn in a circle a little bit, or they'll look down and then they'll turn. Maybe not as much as a dog does, but they'll definitely turn.
Wow, I thought it was just peculiar to dogs.
No, there you go.
Horses.
Yeah.
Wow, it must. And once again, it must be something that is evolutionary. It has some basis.
Yeah, it
to
must do.
Like yawning. Why, if I'm yawning, do you immediately say, "Oh, I think I'll yawn as well"?
I know you do see someone yawn and you have to yawn.
Yeah, I don't.
Don't you do it? I know you want to.
I was practicing this on my grandson about a week ago, and just start yawning to see if, and it's true.
And he did?
He's 4, and he just yawns, and I assume that it must be genetically coded for some reason.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, is it because
Is it evolutionary? Is it when Grunk first yawned back in the caveman days, that was the indication to the rest of the family that that was bedtime and we all had a yawn.
Yeah, or is it? I don't know. Once again, we don't know the answers to this. If you do, drop us a line or come to the Facebook page and let us know, because we're drawing blanks. We've got question marks all over these. Yeah.
And why can't you sneeze with your eyes open? Well, I know your eyes will blow out, but apparently.
Yeah.
Is that true? Will you pop your eyes out if you sneeze with your eyes? Can anyone sneeze with their eyes open?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Because I think the whole bless you thing with the sneeze, that all came from consumption or something, didn't it? Because it was at Pope Gregory or someone like that. When you sneezed, it was because it was the bubonic plague or something like that.
I heard it was more of a superstitious thing, that when you sneezed, you were vulnerable to a negative devil getting into your body or something through your nose. So people said bless you, so that didn't happen. That was my understanding of bless you.
Okay, yep. Well, that makes more sense.
Well, yeah, let's go with that.
Makes a lot more sense. Unlike walking into a room and forgetting why you were there.
Oh.
Is that an age thing or just me?
That's an age thing, all the time. And do you ever have that happen to you where you're looking for something and you can't find it anywhere, and then like 5 minutes later it's right in front of you?
Glasses on top of your head?
Yeah.
Yep. And retrace your steps and think, of course.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have done it unless you actually. No.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Or do a man look in the pantry and you just cannot find it.
Yep.
And then the woman or man in your life goes there
and it's right in front of you.
Good chance that if you've got another man in your life, he's not going to find it.
No.
But it's a woman thing, being able to find things.
Yeah.
But it's like alarms. This thing I've got about alarms. I can set my alarm for if it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I will wake up a couple of minutes before that alarm goes off.
Why is that?
How is your body clock set?
How does it know that?
I know. My mother used to say, you used to lick your finger and write the time on your forehead.
Really?
And you would wake up at that time.
I have never heard that. That's amazing.
You need to try that tonight.
I will. So lick your finger
Write, write the time.
6 a.m. or something on it.
Just make sure you don't write it backwards, because it could work out as something completely different.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, whatever. But yeah, she's, if you want to wake up at 6 o'clock, lick your finger and write it on your forehead.
Genius.
Yeah, but now if you set your alarm, I do. I always wake up just before that alarms. I'm thinking that's just cruel, because now I can only lay there for like 2 minutes before I have to get up.
Yeah. And if it's half an hour, you're like, oh, great, I don't have to get up for half an hour. But is it really realistic that you can fall back into a heavy sleep in half an hour?
Not happening.
No.
Not happening. So that whole emotion thing leads me into goosebumps. What's the goosebump thing? You probably know the answer to this. Why we have goosebumps.
No, I love how you have this faith in me that I know the answer to this.
I've got a lot of faith in you. I've always had a lot of faith in you. You know that. But goosebumps.
I don't know. What's the purpose of goosebumps?
Somewhere in the back of my mind,
I don't know why they happen. Like if you're cold or if you get a bad feeling about something or whatever.
Yeah. But it's got something to keep me warm, and I guess.
Is that what it is?
I'm guessing it's like muscle contractions or something to get your blood flow going or something like that.
I see. Look at that. Listen to you, Dr. Guy.
If I say it with conviction,
yes, we'll all believe it.
You can take it or leave it.
I like it.
Take it or leave it.
That.
I'm not Dr. Google.
Now, what makes your hair stand on end? Is it the same thing that's making you have goosebumps? When you get...
Are we allowed to say that? What makes my hair stand on end?
Yeah, at the back of your neck. If
that. Oh, I haven't got enough hair anyway for it to stand on end anyway now. I don't know.
You get that feeling.
Yeah, but it's like when dogs' hair bristles as well. I mean, that must be something that's harked back to
we call it a sixth sense, but is it really?
Yeah, dogs bristle, but maybe ours...
maybe it's a throwback.
It could be. Songs and music, and I know it's going to be probably another podcast, but that feeling that you hear a song and you just go back 20 years, 30 years, doesn't matter. All of a sudden, it takes you back to that moment where it's this DeLorean flux capacitor moment where you just say, wow, I remember being 17 and where I was that moment, and that moment wouldn't have popped into your mind except for that song.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the same with, sensory issues. When I've only got to smell freshly cut grass and it takes me straight back to my childhood when Dad would mow the lawn, because sense of smell is such a strong memory connection, isn't it?
Yeah,
You can smell things and it just takes you straight back to somewhere.
Yeah, so much. I don't think. I mean, those sensories, like the touch thing, so maybe taste, like if there's an ice cream or fairy
Maybe,
floss or something.
yeah.
But music, the auditory, and that's and
smell.
and smells. Yeah, like I this will be awful. But if I smell a pub, I always think of my grandfather because. Or maybe it's the stale beer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or aviation fuels. Always because you think, I'm going on a holiday. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I smell aviation fuel when you get within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the airport, and you get a little kick of excitement because you know there's a plane nearby and it's going to hopefully take you somewhere exciting.
Yeah. That sort of puts happiness in your heart, which leads me to say, why do people cry when they're happy?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. When it's the same reaction to two totally different emotions, isn't it?
Yeah. Is there a tinge of sadness in some happy moment that makes you actually want to cry as well? Because you see people. Is it a relief thing? Like so often, you see them on game shows too. They'll win a gazillion dollars and they're almost crying. But when people are happy, they cry.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why
That's
you can
really good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to get Dr. Carl Kruzennecki on.
Oh, gosh.
He could answer all these, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could.
Why is it when you're always in a hurry, you get every red light on the way home? It's like they know. It's like there's a little man in there going, ha, ha, ha.
That little man that we pressed the button to hit on the head to change the lights.
Yeah, it's him again, isn't
Karma. It's karma. That's all I'm saying. It's karma.
Yeah.
And the other thing that, you're trying to get home, you might be busting to go to the
I
loo,
know, right?
and of course every red light, but your phone's ringing and you want to pick it up and you can't because you're a responsible driver.
Yeah.
And of course you get every green light and think, oh my gosh, I'm another half an hour away from home. I can't touch that phone. I haven't got hands free. It's in the bag in the back seat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're busting to go to the toilet on the way home in the car and there's some idiot in the right lane going slow.
That's me, sorry.
And it's at times like that I wish I had a signboard, a digital signboard on top of the car where I could go, need to go to the toilet, so that I don't look like one of those aggressive tailgaters. It's like, I've actually got a reason why I'm trying to.
There's a time that you need your car under lights as far as, your emergency services people. You said, listen, sorry, toilet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone could relate to that.
Everyone can relate to it. It crosses all boundaries. Socks.
Yeah.
How many socks do you lose in the wash? And there's always
half of them.
Where do they go? Is there a place for homeless socks?
I think there is. I think there's a place where they go. They sneak out through the bottom of the washing machine and they go to, like sock heaven, because they're all odd and they. Okay, I'm just making this up now. I don't know.
They just go. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not every family has a house that the dog decides to swallow one, but usually it comes out the other end anyway.
Yeah.
But I've got like 3 pairs of socks at the moment that just do not have partners, and I've got no idea
where they've gone.
Absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So if someone knows, or if someone's got 3 pairs of socks that they don't know, look,
maybe yours left home or something. Walk down the street.
Reach out. So a couple more that I just want to bring up.
Yep.
Is why do cats always land on their feet?
Oh, I think I know this one.
Is it the same reason that buttered toast always falls down on the butter side?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because if it's got the butter on one side, it's heavier, so therefore it would turn down. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But the cat one?
Because cats are so flexible, if the distance between where they fall off and where they land is great enough, they can turn their bodies around to make sure they land on their feet. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the distance? Like, does it vary from cat to cat?
I guess, no, I think I mean, obviously if the cat's if the cat falls off the lounge onto the floor, there's not enough distance for it to right itself. But if it falls off a second story of a building, on the way down, they're smart enough to be able to wriggle their bodies around so that their feet are on the bottom most of the time.
And people don't try and throw your cat off the second story of a building, as Kaylee may have just mentioned, because I don't think that's a good idea.
I'm sure I saw a documentary on this beyond 2,000 years ago.
Does it extend to big cats like lions and cheetahs and things like that? Not that I've ever picked up one to find out.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I'm guessing it probably does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one I want to bring up, because we're running out of time,
we are,
is why does time seem to go faster the older we get? Because when you're a kid, Christmas is like,
I know,
my birthday is so far
And then
away.
the end of school is so far away. And I think because when you get older, you've got less of your life ahead of you and more of it behind you. Whereas when you're a kid, you've got most of your life ahead of you and less behind you. So it feels like as you get older, you're speeding up towards your demise. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Very depressing, but
Not quite the high point I wanted to go out with.
Oh,
But I think we'll go out on that one.
talk to you soon.
See you later. Bye.
The views and opinions expressed on the Big 60 are personal and reflect those of the hosts and guests. They do not represent the views or positions of any affiliated organisations or companies. This podcast is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as professional advice. Please consult with a qualified professional for guidance on any personal matters.
Oh, and before we go, let's give credit where credit is due. Kaylee Harris and I came up with all the genius content for this week's episode. Our producer, Nick Abood, well, he keeps the lights on and makes sure we don't accidentally upload a cat video instead of a podcast. So thanks for keeping us on track, Nick. Nick?